Of course. All right, so now we're gonna make our way to the garage.
Oh.
All right.
Here, could I go over to the garage?
Hand off to Mark.
You have to impress me. I have a 3,200 square foot, 2-story solid block garage, about 22 registered vehicles, including 7
22 registered?
classic vehicles and a fire truck.
Oh, wow. I want to go to your garage.
I think the next store is going to be at your house.
There we go. That, it would make a great demo. I'm just saying.
22 cars. That's fun to show off. Anyway.
Well, there's motorcycles in there too.
We have one technology-enabled car right here, but so yeah, this is our garage. We have a half-carb showcase display running our using the i.MX to run next-gen looking infotainment systems, and we have as well. We have our 360-degree bird's eye view camera demo with 4 fisheye lenses placed around the car, so you can actually kind of see what's going on around the vehicle. And this could be used for like autonomous parking and other kinds of, even just for user fun. But I guess a lot of it is like, yeah, the EML and the autonomous side of things. You can get better views of what the car can do for autonomous driving applications and other stuff in that realm. Plus, I think it's really cool.
It is really cool.
And then, yeah, we have the next-gen infotainment stuff. Like you can have your maps on the kind of integrated single-line system where, I don't know, it's just what cars are doing nowadays, where you're putting all the screens and everything.
So as we're looking at the vehicle itself, a lot of this is also NXP technology.
Yes. This is all being run by the i.MX, currently 8-quad max. So to run all the graphics and stuff. There will also be the ability to use the real-time domains of these chips so that like if your infotainment system goes down, your car's not going to be like at risk of crashing because ESC is not working anymore. So you have a lot of the chip systems where the really mission critical stuff's not going to go down if the infotainment was to fail, and the infotainment can come back up without killing mission critical. And that isolation of the domains is something that our technology supports.
Well, it's also important to note that NXP is the leader also in automotive chipsets, shipping over, and this was a couple years ago, I don't know what it is now, but over 1 million units a day in automotive, and extensive throughout the vehicle in terms of sensors and ECUs and everything else.
Yes.
So yeah, automotive is kind of you'd say automotive is kind of in your blood.
Yeah, it's kind of our bread and butter in some ways. We also have the orange box system for connectivity, so you can connect to this and it would be connected to either 8-quad max or running an 8-quad max system to interface with the phones or run Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and just general forms of connectivity with the car, and even just like say S32 systems, so you can keep talking with the real-time domain stuff and the car control. So this integrates with that and shows off a lot of our wireless technology regarding the cars. We also have a charging solution for like reverse charging in the home, kind of to maybe focus on like the car as part of the microgrid. So say if your power goes out, you could rely on your electric vehicle battery for some critical tasks, like maybe small amount of lighting or keeping stuff in your fridge and freezer from going bad for the time being. And it shows kind of the amount of runtime and how charged the vehicle is.
You have to have a really smart home if it's just going to send power to the refrigerator.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, you'd probably have to turn stuff off manually so that but yeah, ideally it would be smart enough to do everything itself. And then one of the really cool things that we showed off at CES this year is our new eCockpit Reimagined running on the i.MX 9.5. So honestly, this display almost sells itself. You just kind of have to go past it because each side shows a completely different picture.
Oh, wow.
To the user. So you have the driver's side and the passenger side. So the passenger could be watching a movie while the driver is focused on maps.
Okay, that's cool.
And currently we're running our driver monitor solution on the driver's side of the car. So it runs using the NPU on the 9.5. It detects the driver's face and says, oh, are you distracted? Are you using your phone? And such. Whole bunch of like stuff on that front of things. We also have these fancy seats that have integrated electrodes so that the driver's touches are isolated from the passenger. So I can actually be playing. I mean, if you want to sit down, you can actually play on that side as well. And my stuff is not going to interfere with your video. So like you could even pause the video while I'm able to actively either control the car or play with a maps application.
There's no ejector button, right?
No, not at the moment. No.
Not at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you need to get out of the car because it's I don't know.
No, that is really cool.
Yeah.
So, what about haptic feedback? Is that a potential?
That could be a potential. Yeah. I mean, you could integrate the haptics into the display and such that like
Well, I'm thinking
or into the seats.
the
Yeah,
seats. That'd be really cool.
I mean, just vibrating motors for massage would be more better.
You could do that. You could do, waking the driver up. You could actually do something for gaming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the gaming application is like the passenger could be playing a game while the driver is like completely engaged on driving, or so you have lack of the distraction.
Of course, if it's Mortal Kombat, that might not be a good thing for haptic feedback, but you never know.
Yeah.
That is cool. The screen technology is really
Yeah,
awesome.
the screen almost sells itself. Wow.
I like that. Okay, when do I get this?
I want to know that thing. That's it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
So yeah, I think if you want to look in the hood, you can actually see the 8 Quad Maxes we're running, different displays in the car on. We also have a little workbench set up with a microscope, and we have one of the UWB anchors in the back.
Well, and this is impressive because they're very small boards. So I guess the important thing to note here is the fact that you can combine these into a single system, and very small footprint, very low power consumption, and very high performance.
Yeah, and very high capable graphics. So you can run like all the cool 3D stuff, 3D cars, 3D maps, Android Auto. Yeah, so all of the graphics and infotainment can be run off these, and they can be connected with the orange box or other systems in the car as you have a fully connected car. I think I can hand you off to.
We got a few more to do.
What's the next demo?
Who are we handing off to, guys?
I'm going to hand you off to Raymond to talk about.
Okay, welcome to the entryway area. Yeah, you can see that in fact XP has very much technology used in the entry exercise. And this is a XP smart lock solutions. You can see that in fact it combines the different access technologies, include the traditional pin pad and the fingerprint, even the AFC, and also the face recognitions, even for notaries UWB. In fact, let me show you traditional one. Maybe you are using a tag to open the door, right? It's it's easier, but anyway, you still need a tag. Tag is a key. So may I ask you questions? How about if you just lost your key? In fact, you don't need a key. Anyway, just use a face recognition. Let me show you.
And once again, that doesn't require internet capability. It's all stored locally.
Yes.
That's
correct.
awesome.
Yeah. And also another one is that you don't need a key anymore, the fingerprint. Yeah. It's very simple.
It's going to make hard to make fun of my kids when they lock themselves out of the house now, because they're going to get in so many ways.
Yeah. Sometimes you always just like we said in the bedroom, you need a remote to control the fans, the lights. No, you don't need it. Just use your voice. It's much more convenient.
Or personal recognition. So it knows you. It knows if you like the fans on. It knows what level you like the lights. It can learn.
Yeah.
According to the settings that you set it to.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. And another way, I think that you mean every day you are using the Apple Pay, right? Apple phone. So how to use the phone? I think almost everybody have the phone. How to use the phone to open the door? Let me show you how to use the phone. You don't need to take key. Your phone is okay.
Yeah.
Let me just calibration. I need to calibrate the phone before. Okay.
You realize you're going to make smart homes smarter than most of the users, right?
Yeah.
Go.
Yes.
Well, but you know, that's
Yeah.
one of the
When
challenges.
you're close to the lock, it
Yeah.
will unlock automatically. If you're far away, it will lock automatically.
Just like a car with
Yeah.
the key fob.
Yeah. It's very convenient. It's smart. It's really smart.
So, I mean, that's, I think, the one thing that I'm impressed with here is the fact that you're making things simple, because a lot of the early smart home devices required a lot of setup, a lot of programming, a lot of understanding of how everything worked and how everything worked together. You know, you're trying to make it as simple as possible. So, and I'm also noticing the similarities between the coffee machine, between the door lock, between, you know, all these controls. So it's not something new every time I try to work with a different device.
The advantage is that all is done in RT or RT 1170 MCU, not MPU. You know that we have a when we use MCUs, its power consumption is much lower than MCU.
Well, especially because it's going to be battery powered.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes.
Yes. Okay.
Jim,
That's all.
now
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about something very important to a homeowner, because he introduced me as a homeowner. So yes, I see that Raymond has a great system to have my physical security. I notice I have cameras in my house, so I know who's coming in and out. But what about digital safety? What about devices that are talking to each other and potentially having traffic come into my house? What about my privacy of me, my family, my kids? So how is that protected? Because you see a lot of devices are here, and this dashboard shows me, I can already see this 13, 14 devices. And what if I bought a new device, as you just said, easy to use, provision it, but what if if that device was sending my data or was trying to snoop into my data? So how do you solve that? So here we're going to show you, when I walk this direction, which basically is in line with the home, is a digital intrusion alarm. So basically this device here, based off NXP's MPU solution, with the IMX8M Plus application processor, can basically do machine learning on your network data. So we are actually looking at all your data that is going to the home, and we can look at the patterns and find that, is this data looking good, or is this data has some kind of anomaly where we're like, this shouldn't be going to a different IP address, or this should never leave my home. As you said, we want everything running locally. If something goes out and gets in either an attack, or if even if a device malfunctions, sometimes it can just flood your network with data and bring your home down, or your home network down, or slow your internet down. How do you avoid that? And here's a solution that Benjamin will actually show you by initiating a live attack. Assume here, I'll have Benjamin demonstrate the solution.
Here, as it was told, it is based on ADMX 8M Plus, and it has a NPU, neural processing unit, where we monitor the network traffic, and our AI model that we have designed monitors the anomaly and sends the alarm signal to cut off that particular device from the network. So right now, consider this as a Wi-Fi router or access point, where we have NXP's Wi-Fi solution in that, and we monitor the wireless traffic from this phone. And right now I'm going to simulate the traffic. It's a typical flood ping, which I'm flooding the network, and it identifies the device, detects it, and removes the device out of the network.
This is demonstrating some of our solutions where you don't have to actively monitor your
So
network.
here you can see it's blocked. Malicious traffic has come, and this device is cut out of the network. So if you want to, if you think that this is a known device of yours, it could be IoT device which is running out of battery and sending multiple packets, which is clogging your network. You can change the battery, unblock it, and it is good to go for your network. Or if it is a genuine attack, keep it blocked.
So you basically are creating a physical digital firewall for the home.
Yep, that's correct.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is in line with your home's network. so that anytime you have any malicious traffic, we see it, we cut it off, take it off.
So do you think this is going to be incorporated into routers, or is this going to be a separate box?
It just as Benjamin said, this can be the same technology like the 8M plus application processor that runs in a router, and it has a neural net engine which is dedicated to look at the network traffic being processed, and it can basically offload that activity of finding anomalies in the traffic. and
Yeah.
blocking it out.
To your question, I think it could be a separate box which is connected to your home router that can snoop the network inside your home and make the decisions.
Okay, I'd pay for that today.
So, but what
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is, you don't. So what Benjamin? So there's two kinds of solutions, and I'm going to kind of expand on what Ben said. So you asked the question, do we need a separate box? So if you already have a home router, and if you obviously have one enabled with 8M or NXP's MPU technology with a neural net engine, that can do both. Now, the class that Benjamin is talking about, because both he and I come from the digital networking group, where we have enterprise class routers, and
Mhm.
those will require 100 gigabyte traffic coming through, and that may require a dedicated neural net box, and that's what
Okay.
he's saying. You need a separate box. But from your home, which you have like a gigabit per second traffic, MPU will be fine.
No, that's awesome.
So next, Cameron, are you ready for us, or before
Yeah,
we?
well,